I was thinking that I was just going to get in the water, sit there we go, they're not touching me, then get out. And I got in, and we had a script meeting that went on probably about 10 minutes. They're coming closer and closer. Some of them were going behind me, they're swimming between my legs.
Jeremy Wade has spent years diving into some of the most dangerous waters on Earth, but nothing prepared him, or anyone else, for what his latest Amazon expedition uncovered.
They don't have particularly big teeth, they're not going to bite you, but what they can do is they can bash you with their head. And the thing is, if I'm not careful, it can just whack me, potentially knock me out, knock my teeth out or whatever. So it's a bit of a comedy moment.
Deep in the twisting, uncharted rivers of the rainforest, Wade captured footage of creatures so massive, so bizarre, and so aggressive that even locals were stunned. These weren't just big fish, they were something far more unsettling. As his camera rolled, the Amazon revealed monsters no one expected, raising one chilling question. What else is hiding beneath those dark, silent waters? Join us in this video as we reveal the details. Number 20. The Goonch. This river monster isn't your lazy backyard catfish, not even close. The Goonch is a massive, muscle-packed predator found in the fast-flowing waters of India and Nepal. Some of these giants stretch past 6 feet and tip the scales at more than 200 pounds. For years, locals believed something in the river was pulling people under, and Jeremy Wade set out to uncover the truth. With its bulk, rows of sharp teeth, and bold, aggressive behavior, the Goonch earned every bit of its terrifying legend. And Wade confirmed it. This creature isn't just a story. It's real, powerful, and absolutely deadly. So, what other sea monsters and mysteries did Jeremy Wade uncover? Keep watching to find out. Number 19. The Queensland Grouper. Anyone who's watched Jeremy Wade on River Monsters knows the man has had his fair share of shocking surprises. Some of the show's best moments, and probably Wade's favorites, come from the catches he never planned on making. And this one was far too big to simply toss back and forget. While searching for bull sharks in Australia's Brisbane River, Wade ended up face to face with a gigantic creature known as the Queensland Grouper. This thing wasn't just big, it was monstrous. Groupers are fascinating in their own right, especially because they can switch from female to male, letting the largest and strongest female take over as the dominant male of the group. Pretty wild, right? If only they could transform into something a little less intimidating and a lot more cuddly. Imagine a monstrous creator that can switch from female to male. Who knows what creature Jeremy Wade faced next? Let's find out. Number 18. The Giant African Bull Shark. Officially, Jeremy Wade's largest freshwater catch ever came the day he went head-to-head with a giant African bull shark. If anyone ever doubted Wade's grit, this moment erased it. He didn't back down, even as the massive shark dragged out a fight that lasted 2.5 exhausting hours, all on a single fishing line. Bull sharks are built like tanks, and this one was no exception. Weighing nearly 500 pounds and stretching up to an incredible 9 feet long, it was a true river titan. Wade and his team finally pulled this monster from the powerful waters of the Zambezi River. But the bull shark isn't limited to Africa. It can thrive in both fresh and salt water, turning up everywhere from the coast of Brazil to the shores of eastern Angola. This catch wasn't just big, it was a reminder that in the world of river monsters, the next challenge is always bigger than the last. Number 17. The Giant Stingray. Forget the cute, small stingrays you glide past at an aquarium. This is their heavyweight ancestor. The giant stingray is the true king of its kind, and it put Jeremy Wade through one of the toughest battles of his career. While exploring Argentina's Paraná River, Wade went after this massive creature, and it pushed him to the limit. This stingray weighed an incredible 280 pounds, and every minute of the nearly 4-hour fight proved how difficult it was to bring in. These giants anchor themselves to the riverbed with incredible force, making them feel almost impossible to move. As Wade put it, "There's no finesse to bringing in a stingray. You're just using very heavy gear and trying to break the suction that it has with the bottom." This was less of a catch and more of a test of sheer endurance, and the stingray wasn't giving up without a war. So, what other sea monsters did Jeremy Wade catch and encounter? Stay tuned to find out. Number 16. The Goliath Tigerfish. Jeremy Wade had to travel deep into one of the most remote corners of the Congo River to land this next creature, and honestly, that's probably the best place for it. The Congo tigerfish, better known as the Goliath tigerfish, is basically a supersized piranha, and one look at it makes that relationship painfully clear. Wade himself says this monster can grow to the size of a man. But the terror doesn't stop there. Wade revealed something even more disturbing about the beast he caught on camera. The tigerfish I caught on camera had teeth the same length as those on a 1,000-pound great white shark. Imagine that! A river fish with teeth rivaling one of the ocean's top predators. If that doesn't make your stomach drop, nothing will. Could an even more sinister predator be lurking? Keep watching to find out. Number 15. The Sawfish. These intimidating and perfectly named sawfish once swam in large numbers across the world. But after years of getting caught in fishing nets and losing their habitats, their population has dropped fast, turning them into rare, almost ghost-like sightings today. In a way, that makes it a little easier to sleep at night, but leave it to Jeremy Wade to find one anyway. While in Western Australia, the River Monsters host managed to hook a sawfish that looked massive to anyone else, yet Wade revealed it was basically just a youngster. This one was about 7 feet long, he explained. It's believed they grow up to 20 feet long, but the adults are never really seen. A 7-foot baby with a built-in chainsaw for a face? That's a monster only Jeremy Wade could casually reel in. But could an even bigger river monster appear? Let's find out. Number 14. The Arapaima. Although Jeremy Wade often made it look effortless, reeling in some of the world's largest freshwater fish was anything but easy. One particular catch almost made the entire expedition feel impossible. The Amazonian Arapaima is legendary for its raw strength and lightning-fast bursts of speed, making it a serious challenge even for a seasoned angler like Wade. His first attempt with an 80-pound Arapaima ended in disaster. I don't know if it was making a last bid for freedom or aiming at me, but it hit me in the sternum. I could still feel that after 6 weeks. That moment proved just how unforgiving the Amazon can be, and why this river giant has earned its fearsome reputation. Number 13. The Piraiba. Don't be fooled by the name catfish. The Piraiba is a river monster in every sense, a torpedo-shaped powerhouse with whiskers, capable of stretching over 9 feet long. This bottom-dwelling giant has the raw strength to drag boats and an appetite fierce enough to swallow smaller predators whole. Jeremy Wade came face to face with the Piraiba in the murky rivers of South America, where locals tell chilling tales of it pulling livestock, and sometimes humans, beneath the surface. This isn't just big, it's terrifyingly big. And when it wants to move, it's shockingly fast, proving once again that in the rivers Wade explores, danger lurks in every shadowy bend. Keep watching to find out more sea monsters and mysteries. Jeremy Wade uncovered. Number 12. The electric eel. When you realize that the largest electric eels can deliver up to 500 volts, it's easy to see why this might be one of the bravest wildlife photos ever captured. With 3 decades of experience, Jeremy Wade and his River Monsters team approached this freshwater predator with extreme caution, knowing one wrong move could have deadly consequences. "We got the kind of people who work on power lines," Wade explained about the safety measures for the risky catch. "Thick rubber boots and gloves. We also took a defibrillator." Fortunately, the defibrillator was never needed, but the team didn't take chances. Their caution was fueled by chilling local stories, including one about a person who died after an electric eel wrapped around their chest, delivering repeated shocks to the heart. It's a reminder that some river monsters are as deadly as they are electrifying. Number 11. The alligator gar. Jeremy Wade traveled to the Trinity River in Texas, USA, to uncover the truth about the alligator gar, a massive predator long blamed for terrifying attacks on people. Some reports even claimed this fish was more dangerous than a man-eating shark. With its enormous jaws and 2 rows of needle-sharp teeth, the alligator gar is an elusive and formidable opponent, earning its fearsome reputation over the years. Yet much of the danger attributed to this fish came from misunderstanding. Large populations of alligator gar were wiped out by electric gar destroyers across the country, pushing this impressive species to the brink of extinction. Bow fishermen also targeted them with spears, leaving the fish to die painfully, as seen in some internet videos. Jeremy, however, had a different mission. He wanted to catch a gar alive and release it safely back into the river. After finally hooking a large specimen, he discovered once and for all whether the alligator gar truly deserved its legendary status as a river monster. Is there a more terrifying fish next? Let's find out. Number 10. The Wells catfish. The Wells catfish is among the largest catfish species in the world, and it comes with a fearsome reputation. Medieval reports even claimed it was an aggressive man-eater, with legends of small children being found inside its stomach. When new reports of attacks surfaced in Berlin, Germany, Jeremy Wade dove headfirst into uncovering the truth behind these massive fish. He discovered that the giants are particularly aggressive when guarding their nests during the breeding season. Wade's investigation then took him to Spain, where Wells catfish had been introduced into the warm waters of the Rio Ebro. Over time, a combination of factors, including the fishermen's catch and release practices, allowed these creatures to dominate the ecosystem and possibly reach man-eating sizes. There, in the murky depths of the river, Jeremy came face to face with a river monster that showed no fear of humans, confronting one of Europe's most legendary freshwater predators. What terrifying creature did Jeremy Wade uncover next? Stay tuned to find out. Number 9. The snakeheads. Journeying to Florida in the U.S., Jeremy Wade came face to face with the invasive bullseye snakehead, a predator originally introduced from Southeast Asia. With razor-sharp teeth, the ability to breathe air, and even walk short distances on land, these aggressive fish quickly became the center of chilling rumors about man-eating attacks. While incredibly violent and vicious, Wade's investigations revealed that most of the fears surrounding the bullseye snakehead were exaggerated, at least until he learned about the giant snakehead, believed to be the largest and most dangerous of all. Meanwhile, Wade traveled to Illinois to witness firsthand the havoc that invasive species like the silver carp can wreak on humans. Later, at Khao Layam Dam along Thailand's River Kwai, he uncovered stories of attacks, including one fatality. Despite trying to reel one in with a fishing line, he had no luck. Determined, Wade dove into the murky waters among a school of young snakeheads, hoping to track down their deadly parents and get to the bottom of these terrifying tales. Number 8. The red-bellied pacu. Deep in the jungles of Papua New Guinea, 2 separate deaths sent shockwaves through local communities. Men were found bleeding to death in the Sepik River, allegedly attacked by a creature the villagers called the ball cutter. Jeremy Wade ventured into this largely unexplored river to uncover the predator behind these savage attacks. While fishing for a potential food source, Wade made a surprising discovery: a pacu, a fish normally found in the Amazon River. Related to the piranha, pacus are known for their strange, almost human-like teeth, which they use to crack hard-shelled nuts and fruits. But Wade soon realized that the red-bellied pacu in the Sepik River were far from harmless. Unlike their Amazonian cousins, these seemingly placid fish had developed a taste for human flesh, revealing a hidden danger lurking beneath the calm surface of the river. Could an even deadlier fish appear next? Keep watching to find out. Number 7. The muskellunge. Ontario locals have spun unbelievable tales of a stealthy 20-foot serpent gliding through Canada's vast waterways. Jeremy Wade set out to uncover the truth behind the mysterious disappearances of boaters and fishermen. The alleged beast was described as a giant, eel-like serpent, and a fruitless search for this elusive predator pushed Wade to the edge of frustration. With numerous accounts of a shadowy, snake-like fish attacking humans, Wade knew he was chasing a creature built for speed and power. After ruling out sturgeon, freshwater sharks, and giant snakes, Wade focused on witness reports and sightings, concluding that the most likely culprit was the muskellunge. The muskie matched the descriptions of the lake monster in every way, except size. Jeremy eventually discovered that the reported 20-foot serpent shapes were actually spawning muskellunge swimming in lines, creating the illusion of a massive creature. With the identity of the lake monster confirmed, Wade set out to catch one. After nearly 13,000 casts, his determination teetered on obsession as he awaited a single fated bite. Multiple setbacks, including volatile weather, left him searching for confidence from local native spirits. At his wits' end, ready to abandon the search for the first time in the show's history, Jeremy half-heartedly cast for a small fish, only to accidentally hook his target. A tense battle ensued with a giant muskellunge while using gear far too weak for the task. Against all odds, Wade miraculously caught and released a 50-plus-inch muskellunge, all on just 6-pound test monofilament line, proving that persistence and skill can conquer even the most daunting river monsters. Number 6. The giant trevally and mottled eel. Jeremy Wade traveled to Fiji after receiving multiple reports of brutal attacks across the tropical islands. Investigating a death where the victim's body was badly bruised, he quickly identified the culprit: the giant trevally. To prove that this fish can grow large, powerful, and daring enough to fatally strike a human, Jeremy faced the challenge of fishing above a coral reef that constantly threatened to snap his line. After a grueling battle, he finally hooked one of these ocean bruisers and brought it in on rod and reel. Jeremy concluded that when threatened, the trevally uses its battering ram head to slam humans who venture too close, demonstrating why it had been responsible for the coastal attacks. However, Wade realized that another death he had heard of must have had a different perpetrator, as it occurred far inland, out of the trevally's reach. Reports from the island hinted at a large, little-known giant mottled eel in inland waters. Jeremy attempted to catch one at a reservoir tied to one of the attacks, but came up empty-handed. Unsure if this eel was the true culprit, he ventured deep into the mountainous Fijian jungles. Locals confirmed sightings and additional attacks, though their name for the creature was unfamiliar. With permission from village elders, Jeremy dove into a deep river section said to harbor the monster fish. After hours of waiting, well into the night, he finally hooked and confirmed the culprit, a giant mottled eel measuring 5 feet long. Observing its size and behavior, Jeremy concluded that the many attacks across Fiji were caused by both fish. The giant trevally near river mouths and coastal regions, and the giant mottled eel further inland. Both species, he noted, were exhibiting highly defensive behaviors, easily provoked when humans came too close to their territory. Keep watching to find out more sea monsters and mysteries Jeremy Wade uncovered. Number 5. The Okavango tigerfish. Once again, Jeremy Wade tackled one of the largest freshwater systems on Earth, the Okavango Delta in Botswana. Among all the river monsters he has encountered, he was after a suspected man-eater that still sent shivers down his spine. This time, the delta was running high and clear, spreading the fish out and making them harder to find. After catching some tigerfish, Jeremy realized that to truly understand these aggressive pack hunters, he would need to confront them face-to-face in their own environment. African rivers are filled with deadly threats, and few humans would dare to break the surface, let alone dive into their dark depths. But Jeremy willingly made himself human bait, diving 40 feet underwater in hopes of encountering a pack of hungry tigerfish, proving that these giants, like piranha, hunt in coordinated groups. Meanwhile, convicted man-eaters, African crocodiles, lurked nearby. On his first dive, Jeremy came across a large crocodile that was inactive due to the cool water temperature, even placing his hand on its massive tail. On his second dive, Jeremy navigated a massive underwater labyrinth and eventually spotted a large school of tigerfish. The fish kept their distance, prompting Jeremy to exit the water as temperatures rose, increasing crocodile activity, a potential danger for both him and his dive team. On his third dive, he hand-fed a school of hungry tigerfish, who came within mere feet of him but showed no interest in feeding on him. After surfacing, Jeremy concluded that when the water is clear, tigerfish can easily see their targets and are unlikely to attack humans. However, when water levels drop and murkiness increases, tigerfish attacks become much more probable, revealing how environmental conditions can influence the behavior of these formidable river predators. Number 4. The Nile perch. The title of largest freshwater fish in all of Africa belongs to the Nile perch, and, ever the ambitious angler, Jeremy Wade caught this impressive creature during the second season of River Monsters. The Nile perch Wade reeled in weighed just over 100 pounds, though the species can reach up to 250 pounds in weight. Simply attempting to catch the perch put Wade's life at risk. Africa's Rift Valley, where these fish live, is considered the most dangerous place to fish on the planet. Storms can form in an instant, and giant crocodiles and hippos lie in wait beneath the water, capable of mauling a person to death. What other monstrous creature lurks in deeper waters? Let's find out. Number 3. The Humboldt squid. Reports of 5 fishermen found dead with strange mutilations, allegedly caused by a mysterious sea creature, brought Jeremy Wade to Mexico. His initial attempts to track down a marine biologist who supposedly studied the corpses proved fruitless, but soon more stories of similar attacks in the Sea of Cortez began to surface. Local fishermen couldn't provide information about the original 5 deaths, but they described other victims suffering comparable wounds from attacks in deep underwater trenches. Jeremy began fishing in these trenches, using Atlantic bonito tuna as bait in the hopes of luring a larger predator. However, something repeatedly attacked his lines. One tuna was bitten clean off, and a second was completely sliced apart, except for the head. Initially, Jeremy suspected a shark, but sharks had already been discounted due to the absence of their distinctive bite marks on the corpses. Suddenly, one of his lines was taken, and he reeled in a striped marlin. While marlin are capable of unaliving fishermen when captured, they leave only one wound, unlike the numerous injuries observed on the reported corpses. Later, at the docks, Jeremy noticed the complete absence of sharks in the local catch. A fisherman told him that to understand the area, he needed to visit a location locals described as a cemetery. There, the docks were littered with skeletons of dead fish, and Jeremy discovered multiple mutilated shark corpses, suggesting illegal fishing activity. A local man confirmed the decline of sharks in the region and spoke of a predator called the Red Devil that had invaded the waters. After ruling out whales and manta rays, Jeremy considered whether the Red Devil might have a real-life connection to the mythological kraken, sometimes described as a devil fish. A fisherman who had once tried to capture the Red Devil displayed a wound matching those inflicted by the pufferfish Jeremy had investigated previously, confirming that the Red Devil was indeed a squid. The fisherman added that the squid had fled the area as quickly as they appeared. Concluding that the Red Devil was the Humboldt squid, Jeremy traveled to Peru, where he joined a team of professional squid fishermen. After days at sea in search of these elusive predators, the team faced constant stress, and Jeremy's nerves heightened as he realized how easily someone could fall overboard and be dragged under by converging squid. Despite these dangers, Jeremy successfully caught multiple Humboldt squid, observing their deadly weaponry and aggressive behavior firsthand. But how did Jeremy Wade solve one of the longest mysteries in his career? Stay tuned to find out. Number 2. Jeremy Wade investigates the vanishing fisherman. Jeremy Wade has spent 30 years investigating mysterious freshwater disappearances, uncovering strange and sometimes deadly creatures lurking beneath the surface. Recent reports of fishermen vanishing without a trace along Alaska's south coast drew him to America's last frontier, a land of ice-capped mountains, wild rivers, and isolated coves. While Alaska's scenery is breathtaking, its remote landscapes and harsh climates make it a dangerous place for those who venture into its waters. Jeremy's investigation began with a case involving a boat found washed up along the intertidal zone, but the fishermen and their rods were gone. He decided to search both freshwater and saltwater for potential culprits. In freshwater, he faced one of the most formidable opponents he had ever hooked, the mighty king salmon. After catching a good-sized male, Jeremy concluded that this powerful fish could indeed account for some of the reported disappearances, as its immense strength can pull fishermen or spearfishers into the water, sometimes fatally. Still, he doubted it explained the abandoned boat incident. Shifting his search to saltwater, Jeremy entered shark-infested areas to study the salmon shark. Demonstrating incredible courage, he made himself shark bait to prove that these fish would not attack a human, even when diving directly into the middle of their feeding frenzy. With the salmon shark ruled out, Jeremy turned his attention to one last predator, the Pacific halibut. Investigating multiple cases where this massive fish had injured or even unalived people trying to catch it, Jeremy determined that the halibut was the most likely culprit behind the abandoned boat case and many other disappearances. Number 1. Jeremy Wade uncovers the predators of the Mid-Atlantic. Jeremy Wade took on the largest investigation of his career, attempting to solve what happened to over 1,500 passengers of the RMS Laconia, torpedoed in the Mid-Atlantic in 1942. Examining eyewitness reports, Wade was granted permission to access parts of Ascension Island, the nearest landmass to the Laconia wreck, which had also been the launch site for B-24 Liberators during the attack on the U-boats. Fishing near the island, Wade first caught a skipjack tuna, then a dorado. While dorado are powerful predators, Wade did not believe they could have been responsible for the passengers assassinated during the Laconia incident. Digging further into eyewitness accounts, Wade found reports of strange silvery fish that reportedly carried out the first attacks. One account described a man who escaped the sinking Laconia, dangling his bare feet over the life raft, only to feel excruciating pain, prompting him to yank his feet from the water. Combining aggression with color, Wade suspected the snook as the initial attacker. However, snook did not inhabit the waters around Ascension Island at the time, so Wade traveled to South Africa, fishing around Cape Town. Amid a looming storm, sonar revealed a massive school of fish, estimated to number over 1,000. Casting into the school near seals and potential snook, Wade eventually hooked a snook, convinced that this predator played a role in the attacks. Yet French research vessels had reported victims with strange circular wounds, often inflicted by small but aggressive predators, cookie-cutter sharks. Typically less than 2 feet long but equipped with sharp teeth, these sharks were also implicated in the Laconia incident. Wade felt, however, that the mystery was not fully solved. After nearly catching a tiger shark, he suspected these predators had been present as well, though their numbers alone could not explain the full extent of the attacks. Wade noted that noise in the water often attracts predatory sharks, so he traveled to a cove, scattering food to draw in small fish, and eventually observed sharks arriving. The massive sonic boom from the superheated boilers hitting the water during the Laconia disaster could also have attracted predators. Among them, the oceanic white-tip shark, which existed in large numbers in the area at the time, was a likely contributor. Modern shark fishing had since reduced populations, so Wade traveled to the Bahamas, where a healthy supply remained. Although one shark could not have caused the disaster, within moments, 3 sharks were circling him, showing interest in both the sound and his presence, before eventually leaving. Wade concluded that while these predators explained much of the tragedy, eyewitness reports of people being dragged vertically beneath the water suggested an even larger predator. Recent reports of enormous sharks hauled from the region led him to join a team of scientists attempting to capture this massive animal. Acting as the team's angler, Wade eventually got a bite, catching a 14-foot, 6-gilled shark weighing nearly 1,100 pounds. Tagged and released, this marked the first time a 6-gilled shark had ever been tagged in this region. While impressed with the capture, Wade initially doubted that a deep-sea predator could be responsible for surface-level attacks. The following morning, Wade learned from one of the scientists that the shark had moved toward the surface overnight before returning to the depths during the day. With this new information, he concluded that the 6-gilled shark had likely played a role in the Laconia incident. The sequence was clear. Snook drew in predators like tiger sharks and white-tip sharks. Cookie-cutter sharks arrived next, and finally, the 6-gilled sharks descended on the scene. To witness the 6-gilled shark in its natural environment, Wade traveled to the Cayman Trench, where a homemade submarine had been built. With a pig attached as bait, the submarine descended to the Black Smokers 2,000 feet below the surface, under 900 pounds per square inch of water pressure. Using red lights, invisible to sharks, Wade and the pilot waited for hours, observing deep-sea creatures like isopods crawling across the ocean floor. Eventually, a 6-gilled shark appeared, circling several times and smelling the humans before seizing the pig and departing. Seeing the power of this deep-sea predator firsthand, Wade concluded that the 6-gilled sharks, alongside snook, tiger sharks, oceanic whitetips, and cookie-cutter sharks likely played a combined role in the Laconia disaster. This intricate web of predators, drawn by the chaos of the sinking ship, explained how the tragedy unfolded, providing a chilling insight into the deadly forces lurking in the mid-Atlantic waters during one of history's most infamous maritime disasters. So what are your thoughts about these sea monsters caught and the big mysteries solved by Jeremy Wade? Let us know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.